Rejuvenate, restore, refresh, and heal. At Fantuzzo Acupuncture, we seek to help achieve effective health and wellness in an elegant spa-like atmosphere. Fantuzzo Acupuncture specializes in traditional acupuncture, cosmetic anti-aging acupuncture, acupressure, cupping, CBD topical creams, and more. Approach healthcare holistically. Visit FantuzzoAcupuncture.com to book online today. FantuzzoAcupuncture.com.
From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor. 500 help.
That's right. It's Taylor, 500 help. Let me ask you a question. Is your furnace winter ready? If it's not, call the guys at Taylor. Taylor 500 help. They specialize in things like that. And they come out. They make sure everything's working fine. I mean, I know it's warm today in Irondequoit, but seriously, call Taylor 500 help since 1947. Taylor Heating and Plumbing and Bradford White have been the most reliable source for all your plumbing and heating needs. You can call Taylor for their Plumbing Safety Essentials Plus plan and save $100 on a Bradford White water heater. Plus, Taylor 500 help does duct cleaning, air conditioning, heating, plumbing, home energy, you name it. Taylor does it. Taylor 500 help. You want your lawn to look fantastic? You want to make sure your driveway is clean and clear of snow? Precision Lawn and Garden in Webster. Rochester's lawn specialist since 1969, providing Rochester and surrounding areas professional sales, service, and parts since 1969. You talk about snow blowers. They got little ones and they got the big daddy of snow blowers. They've got chainsaws. They've got blowers. They've got all the name brands, Cub Cadet, Toro, Aaron's. They've got them in stock. They've got sales models and they've got a lot of stuff. So Precision Lawn and Garden, go talk to Kimberly and Justin and tell them, hey, I heard about you guys on the We the People Podcast Network, and buy a snowblower from them. You're going to need it. They're saying it's going to be a crazy winter. All right. You also want to have your driveway sealed before winter. Express Sealers. Call Brian. He did my driveway a week and a half ago. He did a great job. They make your curb appeal just sparkle. So call Express Sealers, not a fly-by-night company, not one of those door knockers. They'll come out. They'll do a great job. 645-2010. That's 645-2010. Make sure you support our sponsors because they support us here at the We the People Podcast Network and Kimberly's Revolution, and we appreciate the crap out of them.
Live from the We the People broadcast studio in cloudy but mild 72-degree Irondequoit, New York.
He's finally here.
It's Big Wednesday. That means Chad Hummel and, of course, Kimberly Ray.
Hey, it's Kimberly's Revolution. We were going to have Austin do it. Austin, can you do your version now? Do you have a mic over there? Can you do your version? Because Chad and I were here on time today. For Kimberly's Revolution and the Podcast Network. And Tom is like, Tom's not here. When we started the show and did the countdown for the clock, Tom was not in the building. So Austin, you do your intro now because Austin was all ready to go.
Oh yeah, I had my Tom impression all set. Here we go.
Do your
live from the cloudy Revere Realty in Irondequoit, New York.
Yeah.
She's mad. Tom's late.
I'm mad.
Here's Kimberly.
That's it.
Big weekend in the Morgan family.
Big weekend it's Wednesday.
I know, weekend.
The weekend already started for him. It started on Monday.
My baby brother's getting married this weekend.
What?
So I had to.
There's another one of you?
Yes.
For God's sake.
So I had to go to the airport to pick up Big Brother Jeff.
Oh, okay. God, all the Morgans are in town.
Wait,
God help us all.
My little brother Danny's getting married this weekend.
Nice.
I thought you meant Jeff was getting married.
No, he's forever bachelor. Well, I guess he is married. Wait a minute. I don't know.
Common law. I think that's called common law.
We don't know.
All right. Well, happy Wednesday. Congratulations to your little brother getting married. How old is he? How many?
37.
And this is his how many wedding?
His first.
Oh, his first. I'm just asking the question.
That's okay.
Why are you? Listen, Tom was late. He goes, I got to pick up my brother at the airport. And I'm like, I'm just asking for a friend, but isn't there a thing called Uber?
Yeah, he wanted to, but I figured I had enough time. And I did.
You did not.
Yes, I did.
Oh my God. If you're on time, you're already late.
Oh,
you know this, right? You know that. All right. So yes, I'm Kimberly. It is Kimberly's Revolution. I'm joined by Chad Hummel, who is sitting right across from me. And Tom. Just Tom. And of course, Austin. Where's Austin? We heard, there he is. Yay.
Hello.
We want to thank Fitz at Rockbox Productions. He provides us with Austin and all, helped us set up this great We the People Podcast Network situation here that we've got going on at Revere Realty. We're in the upstairs portion of our real estate company, and we're glad to be here. We are glad to be here. Sales of homes are going great. If you're thinking about listing your home, do it now because sales are still hot. You're still getting multiple offers, and we can still get overpriced for your house. I think those are all great things.
We can still get you an overpriced house. Is that what you said?
Yes, we can do that
we can
too.
still sell your house for over listing probably. If you're a buyer, kind of sucks to be you right now, but we can also help get you into a great house. You just have to keep the faith. You have to keep the faith and trust me. That's all I'm saying. All right. Today's show is called Quitters Never Quit. Quitters never quit, except for 4.3 million people who were employed in this country who resigned at some point during the summer because August numbers, they're calling it the Great Resignation. 4.3 million quit their job.
Wow.
In August. 3% of the workforce. The largest number of resignations or just quitting since we started keeping numbers on unemployment and the employed in this country. Does that surprise you? Anyone?
Not at all.
I thought it was quitters never prosper.
Quitters never quit.
Oh,
but
okay.
they do. Yeah.
I wonder what percentage of that 4.3 million includes, employees that were effectively forced to resign.
Well, that's a good question. It's going to be
COVID mandate, the vaccination mandate.
I'm glad you brought that up because can I tell you something? If there were 4.3 million that quit or resigned for one reason or another in August, what are the September numbers going to look like when all the mandates went into effect? I mean, we're just talking August.
Yeah, because these numbers always lag behind.
They do. They lag behind like a month.
Yeah.
So here we are, October, whatever the hell day it is, 13th. We're getting August numbers and finding out that it's the largest number of quitting and resignations on record to date in this country ever. So everyone, listen, I'm quitting to pursue my job of not working. That's what I'm, it's my dream. So I'm quitting to pursue my dream of not working.
All right. So we don't have
the Biden economic plan is it's working. This is exactly what the progressive leftists want. They want you to be more and more dependent upon the government, right? It's what they did to the middle class for the past 7 decades. They shrunk the middle class into, a lower class of people that are more and more dependent upon the federal government. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer, and the poor that keep getting poorer become more and more dependent upon the federal government. And this is just an extension of that. It's what they want.
So,
it's not a mistake.
The question is, where did these 4.3 million people quit? Where did they resign from?
Applebee's.
What Applebee's?
Yeah, that's
on a date night. Or no, I don't know.
Xerox.
Xerox. I don't know. I don't even know how many people Xerox has still employed. They're kind of like Kodak, right? So basically, here's the numbers. So they've got the breakdown. They did the breakdown for us. So here's where the majority of people resigned from. 892,000 quit bars, restaurants, and hotels. Okay. So the service industry, restaurant, bars, and hotels, 892,000. 721,000 quit the retail business. Wherever they were working, either the
Kohl's,
Target, Macy's, wherever it is,
Bonton.
They quit. Bonton. No, 706,000 quit their professional job, whatever that might have been, secretarial,
nurses.
I'm getting to that. That doesn't include the healthcare. 706,000 are just whatever profession they might be in. I don't.
So now there's a bunch of accountants out of work.
Accountants, whatever it is.
What happened to the lawyers? Are they on the list there? 534,000 were in healthcare or social services that resigned or quit their job.
And I'm just wondering if anyone's watching or listening to Kimberly's Revolution right now on the We the People Podcast Network, how many of you, I know for a fact, one of my friends that was here for our first year anniversary party, she quit her job in the healthcare industry. I'm like, how you gonna, wow, you're the only one who's going to pay your bills. How are you going to work? Because, she is a visiting nurse. She goes around to all these houses, and she quit her job in September. So if you think these numbers were large in August, September is going to be very interesting to see what happens. But that's the breakdown. And then Austin was telling me, Austin, what were you saying at the beginning of the show before we got on?
Well, I tried to order a pizza from Pizza Hut the other day. But
I do love.
We don't have a Pizza Hut.
Oh, it
Pizza
still
Hut.
exists.
yeah, no, there's one in Webster, and
There's one in Brockport.
Let's see here on Saturdays. Oh no, they don't have enough
grew up
people. They
on
close
pizza.
at 4.
Look at that schedule.
Oh, on Monday close at 3.
Monday. Yeah.
This is better than last week. Last week there wasn't a day they were open after 5.
So you can't get a pizza for dinner at Pizza Hut.
Right.
I've
They
gone to
don't have enough
Panera. I've tried to go to Panera on East Ridge Road 3 or 4 different times over
Closed.
the past several weeks, and they're closed even when their hours of operation posted on their door
They're closed.
would indicate that they're open.
Yeah.
And my
Yeah,
wife,
this is true.
my wife has inquired of them because she'll take the girls
Mhm.
there sometimes, and she's called there a couple times, and they've told her that sometimes they're just closed because on any given day they don't have staff to open the doors.
Exactly.
How hard is it to make a salad?
Exactly.
Somebody
You
has
know
to
what?
make it.
but they got rid of that federal extra $300, so everyone should be back to work, right? You
Right.
can't get unemployment in the state of New York anymore, so you should all be back to work, right? No, that COVID thing really screwed us.
Yeah.
The mandates coming down the pipeline are really screwing us.
And it's definitely getting worse. Somebody mentioned Xerox. Xerox, I believe, just had an announcement. RIT just had an announcement, and Harris just had an announcement.
They're looking for people.
No. That they're going to be joining the ranks of, a la U of R. If you are not vaccinated, you're gone. So it's just incredible to watch the ramp up of the celebration of putting people out of work. The companies are ramping up to put people out of work.
This is what the collapse of an economy in the number one free world nation
This
looks
is
like.
This is what socialism looks like.
This is what the collapse of an economy looks like.
This is
when-
what Democrat socialism looks like.
When 4.3 million quit or resign their jobs in August because they don't want the government telling them what to do with their bodies, this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like when you can't get a pizza at 5 o'clock on a Saturday night because the freaking doors are closed. Are you kidding? That's a big pizza night. Are you kidding me?
Let's go, Brandon, Christopher.
McGregor's on Buffalo. I do love me some McGregor's. McGregor's on Buffalo Road is fully open. Yes. And they're fabulous. And you should go. You should go for football Sundays. You should go all the time. That's funny, Kimberly. People just don't want to work. No, I think they don't want people telling them they have to get a vaccine that they don't need. I think that's what it is. Maybe people don't want to work. I don't know. I'm not in, people's houses. I'm not in their head. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but I will tell you for the most part, I don't want anybody telling me what to do with my own damn body. Thank you very much.
Yeah, people want to work. I mean,
thank you very much.
it's
Okay. Whoa.
What, Tom? Are you all right over there?
Yes.
Did I miss something?
not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
He likes when people do things to his body, I think.
No.
I will do as I please. And if I don't want to get a shot, then I'm not going to get a shot.
Oh, you're talking about shots.
Oh,
Okay.
my goodness.
Never mind.
Oh my goodness. but yeah, we're looking at the numbers there, and the Pizza Hut, and we use that only as an example because Austin tried to order a pizza, and on a Monday afternoon after 3 o'clock, you can't get a pizza on a Monday night for dinner. I don't know how many people really order pizza on a Monday night. I don't know. Who
Pizza
knows?
tastes good on any night.
That's what my husband would tell you. He could eat pizza every single day. But yeah, this is what the collapse of an economy in a free nation looks like. Are we happy about it? We have supply chain issues. We've got, bars are closed early, even if there's a football game on. Yep, Chris, that's right. Absolutely. Someone's saying we have pizza at McGregor's freshly made. Yum.
Does
Give
this
me
person
some.
own McGregor's or work there?
I don't know, but I do love it. So
sponsor the show.
Quitters never quit, right? I mean, what are we going to do about this? How is
We're going to vote for Joe Biden again.
I think I heard FedEx is like training on one day. Sending you over to get a health and, to make sure that you're healthy. They give you a physical and then you're out on the road 5 hours later. That's how quickly the turnaround is.
Yeah.
Because they can't find people to deliver things.
What's interesting about that is when the school year started and the busing shortage was all the big talk around here, the Rochester City School District, that has now begun to trickle, out through the county schools as well. For example, yesterday afternoon, I was out at Mendon Ponds Park for my daughter's cross country race.
Mm-hmm.
Her race was supposed to start at 5:00 and it was 5:05 and it didn't even look like they were close to starting the race yet. The parents are, start whispering. Everyone's just kind of wondering what's going on. Around 5:15, we see the school bus for Canandaigua pulling in 15 minutes late.
Wow.
And then it was another 15 minutes, for all the kids to get off the bus and warm up and so on and so forth.
Right.
And then I overheard a conversation between the Canandaigua coach and a coach for Pittsford Sutherland.
Mm-hmm.
And they were discussing how they have bus shortages in Canandaigua, bus driver shortages. So that's the reason why the school bus was late. They can't even get somebody to drive a school bus. That used to be an overtime run. That used That used to be where 30 retired grandpas in Webster and in Canandaigua and in Pittsford Sutherland would be fighting for that gig to drive extra, to pick up an extra run or an extra shift at night driving the athletic teams around.
Right.
That's extra pocket money for the retirees. And now they have nobody to do it.
And you know what else is happening? You're speaking of the kiddos. So there are several school districts across this nation, and I don't know if it is affecting schools here in Rochester, New York, but across the nation, schools are having to close. You know why? There's no lunch food for the kids. You know why? They can't get the trucks to deliver it. Do you know why?
Joe Biden?
There's no truck drivers to deliver the food to the schools so the kids can have lunch. So there are school districts across the country. This is not fake news. This is true. That the kids have nothing to eat for lunch or breakfast. Some of these kids have breakfast and lunch at school, and there's no food because of supply chain issues, because there's not enough dock workers to get the food from the dock to the wherever to the truck to get the truck on the road. There's not enough truck drivers to get drive the trucks to wherever they're supposed to go, all because of this bullshit mandate stuff. That is the only reason.
The University of Rochester, I think I heard just recently, they canceled their student meal plans because they don't they closed the school cafeteria at the University of Rochester.
Because there's no way to get food to the kids.
Yeah.
Because they don't have any food. If we don't think this is a problem, it is a serious problem. But you know what? You're right. You're right. Joe Biden's doing a great job.
Yeah, that's what he wants.
So glad he's president. Fantastic. The liberal media, they're not bringing it up. No one is reporting on the fact that kids, they're shutting down schools because of a supply chain problem with school lunches. No one's talking about that. Why? It's craziness.
You can't screw
That's
this.
what it is.
You can't screw this up that bad. This is definitely planned.
So
all of it is planned.
I know all of it's planned. And I'm for the record, I'm not quitting. I'm just not going to go to work anymore.
So we have Monday off again?
That's me. Are
the Chiefs going to lose again and we get Monday off?
The Chiefs look horrible.
Well, thank you, Mr. Obvious. I'm so glad you had an opinion on my Kansas City Chiefs. Wow, I didn't know they looked horrible.
And I didn't even watch the game.
Jesus. Oh boy, I see how this is going to go. Manufactured crisis. That's according to Ashley. Yeah, striker. Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah, that came from the NASCAR race where the fans were yelling "F you, Biden."
F you, Biden.
And they thought it was for Brandon, this the guy who won the race.
Oh, let's
NASCAR.
go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon.
And so now that's taken off in all the sporting events that they're yelling,
Right.
let's go Brandon
Yeah.
as F you Biden.
So yeah, F you Biden.
Yeah.
And that's what everyone is saying. But yeah, that's where we are with the jobs. And I think that's why the name of the show today is Quitters Never Quit. I do want to get to, before I get to what you have there, and we didn't have time for it last week, I do want to get to the situation where all of a sudden this week they come out of whatever hole they've been hiding in. And I'm talking about Free the People Rock and the Black Lives Matter organizations. I mean, they've been quiet for so long. I thought they went away, but they did not.
Somebody get shot?
Yes, someone got shot. Someone got shot and killed by RPD. Oh my goodness.
Of course.
Here we go
Well,
again.
see, that's
Cops
just it.
killing criminals. How dare they shoot and kill someone that actually
Wait a
fired
minute.
at them
No,
first?
cops didn't kill criminals.
If I had done,
Cops killed an innocent man.
Yes.
if I had done my proper show prep,
Mhm.
which I
What?
didn't,
Show
Yeah.
prep?
but if I had done my proper show prep, we'd have some statistics on how many Black residents, probably mostly males, but let's say how many Black residents in Rochester have been murdered since the last time a police officer in Rochester had to discharge their weapon,
Right.
right?
That would be an interesting
And-
statistic
It's probably 30, 40, 50 or more,
or more.
right? So let's just call it 40,
Okay.
right? For argument's sake.
Okay.
So if 40 African-American Black males in the city have been shot and killed, how many times did Free the People Rock or Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, right? Just say that slowly. How many times did Black Lives Matter give a shit when a Black person was shot and killed in the city of Rochester? No, they only give a shit when police
Right.
are discharging
Right.
their
That's it.
constitutional duty
That's it.
to protect the public.
That's true.
And what was actually good, what was beautifully refreshing to hear on the news either yesterday or this morning, the Rochester City Council,
This morning.
one of our own, Jose Pio, on our network,
That's right.
led up a letter, a statement that was released by the Rochester City Council commending the police officers
Yeah.
that were involved. When is the last time you've heard that in Rochester, New York?
Well, not
Never?
forever. Jose Pio, Loretta Scott, Willie Lightfoot, Michael Patterson, all praise the actions of RPD.
That's
So,
awesome to hear.
Let me just
For
give
once.
a breakdown. At 9:33 p.m. on October 6th on West Main Street, Simron Gordon, who is 24 years old and has been in and out of trouble the majority of his life that he's been on Earth.
Is he related to Taekwon Rivera?
He is not. I don't believe. He is a suspect in 3 homicides. One, and I mentioned this yesterday with Just
Right.
Tom. One from 2020 and 2 murders that he's associated with from June of this year. So he is the major suspect in 3 homicides in this city in less than 8 months. Okay. So we have the video. We're going to play it. This video also breaks down the transcript. And thank God it has the transcript, because Free the People Rock, the family of Simron Gordon and their attorneys for the family all say that the shooting was unnecessary and that no criminal activity was actually going on at the Family Dollar. Well, that's
Right.
not exactly true.
Hold on. We have to complete the setup here. If there was attorneys involved,
Mhm.
there had to
Such
have been
as yourself.
there had to have been reverends involved too, right?
I have not
They
heard,
must have been flanked by reverends in any press conference that they gave demanding justice.
I'd like to say I didn't see any reverence.
That's shocking.
It is shocking.
That's shocking.
And maybe it's because
Maybe their church was closed due to COVID.
it's hard to deny that this guy was a bad dude, that this guy was a bad actor, that he had been bad for a very long time.
So are you trying to tell me that attorneys are on a lower rung than these reverends right now?
I don't know. He was hired to do a job, this attorney, but the 911 transcript clearly states, and they have it word for word. And again, the family and the attorney say that there's no evidence an actual criminal activity was going on at this Family Dollar. So the 911 transcript reads, and I quote, "We're getting robbed. There's a guy holding the store manager at gunpoint. He's wearing a blue hoodie. That's at 9:33 p.m. on October 6th. 9:35 p.m. Officers arrive at the scene. The guy in the blue hoodie is standing behind the register. He is clearly not an employee of the Family Dollar. Let's roll with the video, can we, Austin? Here we go.
It's like a movie.
I know most of you have probably seen it. Yeah.
I haven't seen this show.
Have you not?
Hello, my name is Cynthia Harriet Sullivan. I'm the police chief for the city of Rochester and Rochester, New York. You're about to view a critical incident video that outlines what took place during an officer-involved shooting on West Main Street. It's always been my goal to be as transparent as possible with the public and to share as much information as we can while keeping in mind that we have to respect the evidentiary value in certain instances. Thank you.
So this is basically the transcript that from the 911 call. The person advises the 911 operator there's a male holding the store manager at gunpoint. The 911 operator during this call says that the person is help is on the way, and I mean it breaks down all of what we know so far.
Shots were fired within a minute, it looks like, of arrival. Officers arrive at 9:35. Shots fired 9:36.
And here we go. Here is the video. There's a difference in the shots. My husband pointed this out to me last night. He said, listen to the gunfire. Because the gunfire, the first shot you hear is different from the rest. Here we go.
Does anyone have a gun in here? Hey, come here. Give me your hands. Get out of the pocket. Get your hands out of your pocket. Get your hands out of your pocket. Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Drop it!
Different angle.
Come here. Give me your hands. Get out of the pocket. Get your hands out of your pocket. Get your hands
out of your pockets now! Shit. Hands out now!
Drop the gun!
Drop it! I got it. I got it.
Yeah, we got shots fired. 715. Male down. So let's go.
Tell him to start EMS.
You good?
223. Can you start EMS to the Family Dollar in West Main?
It's a different perspective.
Does anyone have a gun in here?
Can we stop that video for a second?
Yeah.
Can we stop that? Does anybody find it interesting?
Who's the guy that's just standing there?
Hey, does anybody have a gun in here? Yeah, officer, I do. I have a gun. Let me show it to you. No.
Why wouldn't the guy just standing there run out the door? Why is he standing there?
What guy?
They
redacted.
They redacted somebody just standing there inside the door.
It's someone that's employed by the Family Dollar.
So he didn't want to leave the manager alone.
He did not want to leave the manager alone. So
good for that person.
Go ahead and continue.
Hey, come here. Give me your hands. Get out of the pocket. Get your hands out of your pocket. Get your hands out of your pocket. Drop the gun! Drop the gun!
Gun's right there. There you go.
Where is it at that point?
It's in the bag.
But on the ground or in his hand?
In his hand.
Oh, I got it.
213. I know you're holding the air, but we got shots fired at 715 West Main. Mail's down. So how's it going?
Tell him to start EMS.
I'm good. You good?
223. Can you start EMS to the Family Dollar in West Main?
And there you have it. That is
Wow.
basically the breakdown of an armed robbery that went very poorly for this career criminal, Simran Gordon, who's 24 years old. Family came out. He's the baby of the family. Family came over from Jamaica. Their mom worked 2 jobs, 3 jobs in order to keep the family afloat. No dad in the family. He was a good kid. He always watched his nieces and nephews, blah, blah, blah.
At gunpoint?
I don't know at gunpoint, but again, none of that matters. None of that matters. None of this would have happened. And the 911 transcript is proof of that an employee called 911 and said the store manager was being held at gunpoint. Now, initially we heard he had the gun to the store manager's head.
Do we see any of that? I mean, I'm watching that video.
There's got to be store cameras.
3 times, and I'm trying to watch it from different angles each time. So I haven't watched any one angle the same the 3 times we just watched that. But did we see anywhere in any of those videos just now that we watched, or did you pick up on this at all? That any of the store employees were being held at gunpoint on camera? Did we see that? Did the officer see that?
Well, no, because as they came in, you can see he had moved away from behind the counter. He was still behind the counter.
The employee?
The shooter.
The shooter was.
The shooter was behind the counter.
The
Was
manager,
anyone else, though?
Yeah, the manager was right in front of him.
So you see one
They
person
just
here, and
redacted
you see
the
another person there. So the redaction is there's 2 of
blob.
them, and you
There's
can
a-
see them. There's a blob here, and there's a blob there. There's 2 of them. So the manager is standing behind the counter. The suspect, Simran Gordon, had moved over, and then you have another blob, and I say blob because it's
Right.
it's grayed out to where it's blurred out. You can't see it. And that's where the other employee was that called 911. So I would assume that there is store video. All we're seeing is the body cam video.
Yeah, I heard the store video was pretty grainy and pretty unintelligible, so to speak.
Why would they have good cameras at the Family Dollar on West Main Street?
Yeah, how many times has that been taped over?
I mean, why would you even? Oh, I'm sure they got the video that night.
Yeah.
Of that, but why wouldn't you have really good cameras at that particular Family Dollar? So is that what you heard, that the video wasn't good from the actual store?
I heard that. Yeah.
Oh, you did. Okay. Well, it would still show the guy doing whatever he was doing, and the 911 transcript, obviously follows through on what we all have heard. Is it a tragedy? Someone's life was taken? I don't know. Was the guy beneficial to society? I don't know that either. He's suspected in 3 homicides. I'm saying maybe karma. I don't know.
Well,
I'm not judge and jury, and the guy's dead. So
just to play devil's advocate a little bit, I like to do that in these situations.
Of course you do.
But whether or not he was a suspect in 3 other homicides,
I know it doesn't.
It's probably irrelevant purely from the standpoint of, is this police officer shooting justified?
Mm-hmm.
It's probably irrelevant unless there's direct evidence that these particular officers knew that he was a suspect in 3 other homicides. In other words,
but this also goes to show that he is a violent criminal.
Well,
he's just not your average, grab and go.
Yeah.
He
No, I hear
is
that.
he is a career criminal who has possibly killed 3 other people, and really the guy has nothing to lose. He's either on something, he's a crackhead, he's jonesing, he's already killed 3 people. What's another store employee of the Family Dollar going to matter in the big scheme of life, right? But again, the cops don't know this going in. They don't know
they
that
did.
or Cimarron Gordon. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
And
don't know.
And the point is that if they don't know that, that doesn't mean that their actions weren't justified. It just means that they have to determine in the heat of the moment, independently of that information,
Right.
they have to make a determination that whatever they end up doing, it's going to be reviewed as justified or unjustified. If they know going in that he's a suspect in other homicides, then that plants the seed in their mind that, we're dealing with a dangerous criminal. He's used a gun before, etc. That does give them another level of probable cause or reasonable suspicion.
Yeah, no respect for human life, obviously. And again, last night my husband pointed out,
I didn't hear that.
If you listen close, the first pop is a different gunshot. So it's one pop, and then it's a higher pitch pop, 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 pop on the RPD end.
Yeah, that's the only question.
That part one more time?
The only question I have is, it'd be interesting to know which shot from the police officer was the kill shot. In other words,
why does that matter?
Because the suspect shot at him, right? And he shot him 4 times.
I think he was still alive by the time EMS got there.
Well, the point is to play devil's advocate here. If he only shot him twice and maybe knocked him down,
well, you don't.
Yeah.
How do you know which bullet is the one?
Do you want to play that again?
As
Here
a
we go.
police officer, you shoot to kill, self-defense.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you don't want the guy turning around wounded and shooting you.
Correct.
Right.
Hands out of your pocket. Get your hands out of your pocket.
Pop.
Drop the gun.
Is there another last shot there at the end?
You see him.
He's already down?
You see him when he's running. He pulls out of his pocket the gun and the bag. That he had the gun in the
I'm
bag.
terrible at watching movies. I haven't seen that yet.
You haven't seen it?
No.
Can you run that back?
I'm sorry. We might have to spend the rest
Go
of the
ahead.
show watching this.
No.
Get your hands out of your pocket.
How are you seeing that? I don't see that.
When he starts to run initially, he brings his hand out of his pocket. I mean, you see it at one point, but anyway, so that's, I mean, I can't imagine being on the scene. I know one of those officers is female.
Yeah.
And all I can think about is my daughter being in that situation. That is not a situation I want my daughter to be in, but she is a police officer. I worry about that every single day. There's not a day that goes by
Should be
that I don't worry about my daughter in a situation like that. When they pull up on a situation where there's a possible, some kind of criminal activity going on, and someone raises a gun and shoots. That is my
what's
worst
the end result of all
nightmare.
This? The end result is that the poor people that live in this neighborhood will no longer have a Family Dollar to shop at.
Well,
and
that's true.
That they can't get necessarily on a bus to get out to Walmart. And,
right.
You got there in a Walgreens. That's all you've got in that neighborhood.
Well,
and now that the Family Dollar will probably close because of all the crime, and the people that live in the neighborhood won't have a place to shop, and not everybody has a car, and not everybody can get places.
I mean, that is true. Someone says, check out the paper bag. Yeah, you see the paper bag that Cimarron Gordon is holding. It has the gun in it. It has a hole in it, so he shot the gun.
The whiskey leaked out and got a hole in the bag.
You shoot until the threat is no longer a threat. That is absolutely true. You don't shoot to wound these people.
Well, no, you never shoot to wound.
You shoot
period.
to kill, unfortunately. And Tom's right. The residual effect is that the families in this neighborhood, sooner or later, won't have a Family Dollar to go to, because Family Dollar will say, hey, we're going to cut our losses here. We're just going to cut our losses. It doesn't help us to do business here because we're not making money. We're losing
Who wants
more
to
money.
work there?
I was going to say,
In
what
fact,
employee showed up to the next shift?
Yeah. Is that manager just go, look, I'm out of here.
Well, they
you
weren't
know?
vaccinated anyway, so
Well.
they were probably on their way out.
But I mean, if you're the manager of the Family Dollar there, is that something you want to go to work at?
No,
Right.
no, I would have pooped myself. Literally, I mean, honestly, you know,
Yeah.
it would scare you. I can imagine PTSD, right? And I'm not making a
yeah.
joke. You know, I'm not one of these, you know, people that believe everyone when they say they have PTSD, but I can imagine when you know that a guy has nothing to lose and he's holding a gun to your head, that might be a little nerve-wracking for some. You're listening and watching Kimberly's Revolution, and we appreciate you doing that at the We the People Podcast Network. We support our advertisers. We hope you support our advertisers because they support us. Fantuzzo's Acupuncture, Taylor Heating and Cooling, Taylor 500 Help, Express Sealers, make sure you have your driveway done, and Precision Lawn and Garden there in Webster. They have snow blowers and chainsaws, everything you need to make sure that your lawn and your trees and your snowy driveway this winter are taken care of. So we appreciate our sponsors. So yeah, I mean, you think about all this stuff.
Does anyone else find it odd that, I think you might have touched on this, but when the officers approached the scene, they seemed pretty relaxed.
Mhm.
The one officer
Made a joke as he walked in.
he took his gun out and
Is that
put
a
it
joke though, or was he just asking?
Anybody got a gun in here?
I don't. Anybody hold it? Yeah. Anybody have a gun in here? That's what he said. Literally.
I know these guys and gals become immune, right? I mean, they have to. They're out dealing with this
Every day.
this stuff every day,
Every
all
day.
day long, all shift long. Who knows how many other robberies in progress they may have been called to that night, that week.
That were just like, but they get there and it's benign. It's
Yeah.
whoever was there was gone,
So
or
did
there was no threat.
Or they get there and the guy's not an alleged murderer. And he's like, well, you know, okay, you know, very good. Let me put my gun down. You know, we're good here.
That
You know,
never happened.
Well, I bet you it happens more times than they shoot people. Right. So the point is they happen to walk into a situation where this guy was there who had nothing to lose because he knew he was, you know,
whatever.
he was going to
But
jail.
that's
for the
my
rest of
point,
his
though.
life.
That's what they always, I don't know. I'm not a police officer, but if I was a police officer, I'm going into that store with my gun drawn out in front of me, clearing.
He puts it away at one
He put
point.
he put it away, took it out, put it away, took it out.
Mhm.
What was going through his mind?
Is this going to be a serious situation? Is this just a tweaker? Is he going to be dangerous? But I think once he saw the lump in the pocket of the hoodie, I think that's when he probably realized,
and probably the fear on the person's face
that the guy's got a gun. He really does have a gun, because
But
you don't know if the 911. Hey, he's got a gun. Okay, but
Well,
I mean,
know.
but you don't know.
But
You don't.
if that officer, that lead officer, had stepped foot through those sliding doors,
Mhm.
and the suspect was already prepared to shoot them, knowing full. I'm assuming the suspect knew the police were on their way.
Sure.
The suspect must have heard the 911 call.
Don't know.
Unless it was made from somewhere
there had
else.
to
in
be
the store.
sirens pulling up, right?
No, probably not. I imagine they wouldn't have gone lights and sirens to a potential.
Maybe he watched
armed
a lot of
robbery.
bank movies and
But-
they don't really come in. They negotiate hostages.
If that suspect was prepared to shoot on sight of a police officer, in other words, in his mind, I see a police officer tonight, I'm not going down, right? I'm
Right.
taking the officer with me at a bare minimum.
Right.
That officer's dead on arrival. He walks through that sliding
Yeah.
door.
he could be
And he's
standing
dead.
behind
And
the
he's-
paper towels and just walk out and shoot him in the head.
Right.
So I don't
Well,
know.
that's
I'm a
true.
little
Yeah.
curious as to. And
what the
I've asked,
mindset was.
I've asked police officers, friends, family. I ask them this question all the time.
And it's a feeling they get once they walk in. They immediately have to go with whatever their intuition and the body. I mean, what's the guy look like that's standing there? Does he look like a threat? He's
Sure.
got his hands in his thing. I mean, what is his stance telling you?
And look, I'm Monday morning quarterbacking
Of
this.
course.
This is the benefit that we get. But
This
if
is in the
guy's,
moment.
If
Yeah.
this guy's the suspect in 3 homicides, I know that it only looks like there was a 2-minute lag between the time that the 911 call dispatches
There
to
is
the
only a
police
2-minute lag.
and the
Yeah.
police show up.
Mhm.
Is that maybe with today's technology, is that 2 minutes enough time for somebody to relay to these officers that they're walking in on a guy that's a suspect in 3 homicides?
I don't think they knew who it
Yeah,
was.
how does 911
Well-
know that that's that guy?
Well, I'm
Unless
just
the
saying.
employees knew the guy and he was a regular. I mean, I don't know.
I'm just
But
asking
let's
questions.
play the beginning again, and then we'll move on to the
To gender morphine.
The gender flyer that you have, the gender flyer. Can we play the very beginning?
So you want the police chief?
No. I just want the beginning
Yeah,
of
if you're
the guy walking in and
if
go,
you're
does
the
anybody have a
criminal-
gun?
If you're the guy, the suspect, why wouldn't he have the store manager like lock the doors, right? I mean, he's just inviting them
Because
to walk
he's some
in.
druggy tweaker guy, and honestly, he's probably whacked out on whatever he's on. All right, here we go.
Sure.
So they roll up. Watch him with his gun. The cop. I don't know if it's going to show
we
it.
need the video of the one behind.
We need the one behind.
The
Yeah.
camera behind.
Can you go to this?
Maybe that's why
the
that guy
different take.
was standing there at the door. Maybe the guy said, "Go lock the door. The cops are coming," and he tried to get there and didn't get there in time.
No, I don't think so.
Well, why is the guy standing at the door?
I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense.
Okay, is this the second part? Okay, here we go.
Yeah, look, guns out, puts it
Okay,
away
he puts
as
it
he's
away.
walking in.
And then he's rethinking it. See, he's okay. He's
Because he
obviously got
talked to that guy who was standing there.
But
he didn't talk to the guy.
He must have.
He didn't. You would hear it.
You would see.
He stopped and looked at him and addressed him, the guy that was standing there.
Move that back, Austin. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, he's talking to him right now. That guy's talking to him.
I think at one point you can see him point at the guy in the hoodie.
Puts it away again. I'm confused at what
Because
this officer's
I
thinking.
honestly I think he's trying to gauge the situation. Then he's like,
Your hands out of your pocket.
then he's like, okay, now we need the gun.
Pockets now. Hands out now.
He's got the guns right there. See it?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Or that's a bottle of champagne.
I'm pretty much thinking
Yeah,
it's
the
not a
only thing I
bottle
can
of
think of
champagne.
is he walks in the store, he sees a random guy standing
Thank
there.
you, Austin. Yeah.
He sees a random guy standing there. He goes, okay, maybe this isn't as bad as I think. In other words, why is that guy standing there? And then he points over there.
Right.
Oh, there's a guy there.
Right.
And then he takes it out again. And then he looks at the guy behind the counter.
He puts it away again.
Well, because he doesn't see
Again,
anything.
he's trying to gauge whether or not
right.
this guy is armed.
Can he
I mean, I
gauge
don't
all
know.
that with his gun out?
The guy has his hands
know.
in his hoodie, so he's like, okay, this guy's not threatening. And then he sees that he is threatening, and then he takes it back out again.
Yeah. I mean, it's the whole thing is interesting, but I don't really understand what the family doesn't get about this whole situation. You have the 911 audio. You have the transcript of the audio. You can clearly see the guy's gun. We know he's a bad dude. Don't try to make money off of this dead person that you didn't care about up until October 7th. Up until October 7th, Simran Gordon was just a pain in the ass for his family. Let's be honest. Simran Gordon was like, oh, okay, he's in jail again. We're not going to go bail him out. What, he's a suspect in 3 murders. We're not going to. But on October 7th, Simran Gordon was a payday for the family.
Sure.
So all of a sudden,
Justice for Simran.
all of Simran's family and Free the Rock people or whatever the hell their names are and Black Lives Matter saw another cause,
Well, this
to get out there and do their thing again. But I don't think this is going to be another platform for those 2 organizations.
Well, to take this back to discussions that we've had in the past, when there was the Daniel Prude situation, and when there was the 9-year-old girl that the officers were trying to stuff in the back of a police car.
Right.
Right.
Who was running from her mother.
Yeah. In this instance, would Black Lives Matter had accepted them putting a spit hood over this guy? I mean, he's standing there with a gun, right?
In his pocket.
So everything is action, reaction,
Mhm.
right? We saw the Daniel Prude video. We didn't see any police officers pull their guns out and threaten Daniel Prude. They were reacting to the action that they were presented with. There was a guy that was strung out on drugs, laying naked in the middle of the road. So they stood around and they laughed a little bit. It looks a little crude, but they're laughing a little bit, joking around a little bit. And then when Prude tries to get up and he starts getting a little aggressive, they throw a hood over him, and
that is standard.
It's standard procedure, and it turns out he dies, right? And then
I'm
Black
sure
Lives
it's not
Matter,
from years and years of drug abuse.
yeah,
but
exactly.
whatever.
And then Black Lives Matter say that that the police overreacted. no matter what they do, whether they use force or they don't use force, the answer is they always overreacted.
And-
here we have a guy with a gun.
Right.
This is what happens.
Right.
And he could have shot anybody in that building.
He could have. He could
I'm
have.
still trying to
Or
figure
if
out
he
why
would-
the officer goes in without his gun drawn.
He
Because
would-
he sees a guy standing in front of him with no weapon, and he walks in the store. Maybe he thinks the guy ran out the back or something.
They don't know at that
He
point.
walks in the store and
Yeah.
he sees a guy standing there, and he goes, "Anybody got a gun here?" In other words, he's asking the person who's standing there, why is that person standing there?
But I am glad that we did hear from some of the city council members.
That was phenomenal.
Obviously,
I was
you know,
shocked.
praising the actions of RPD. Jose Pio, who is on this network, the We the People Podcast Network, and Loretta Scott and Willie Lightfoot and Mike Patterson, and we appreciate that.
And Jose's going to be interviewing the outgoing chief tonight on his show.
It really
Yep,
Yeah, right here.
8 o'clock tonight.
8:00 tonight on Jose Pio's show.
Yes.
Right here.
That's
in
awesome.
Cloudy Irondequoit.
That is
Yes.
that is
Well, wait a
awesome.
minute, wait a minute.
It is the We the People
Yeah, it's still
podcast.
cloudy.
Yeah, We the People Podcast Network, Kimberly's Revolution, and you can see us on Facebook. You can like us on YouTube and Apple Podcasts on Kimberly's Revolution. All you have to do is look for it on YouTube, and you can subscribe to our channel. Please do. It costs you nothing to subscribe to Kimberly's Revolution or the We the People Podcast Network on YouTube. And then you can find us on Facebook, where we are live right now, and we're live on YouTube, and you can listen on Apple Podcasts, which is nice. It came out the other day, and by the way, we love our advertisers: Fantuzzo's Acupuncture, Express Sealers, Taylor 500 Help. Make sure you get your furnace serviced and tell them that you heard about Taylor 500 Help on Kimberly's Revolution, and also Precision Lawn and Garden. Legos. You both have kids. I had a little girl. She had Legos. You have kids, right? They had a lot of Legos.
We were a Lincoln Log family.
Lincoln Logs.
No.
I like Lincoln Logs. You had
Everybody
boys and
had
girls.
Legos.
Did
sure.
they all play with?
Legos, for me, Legos were just some hard object to step on
Yeah.
I
the
know.
floor and scream the F
And-
word.
Austin
and
Legos.
vacuum them.
Oh, I love Legos.
Legos, yeah. I mean, Legos were a pain in my ass because they'd be everywhere. Legos, the maker of Legos, came out yesterday
Mr.
and
Lego?
said that from here on out, Legos will be gender neutral.
What?
And I'm like,
Well, that's awesome.
aren't they
That's-
already
They're so
Like,
woke.
gender neutral? I mean, my
What?
kid played with them. They're all colors. They're
Just-
blocks, for
They're
God's
blocks.
sakes.
Follow the
How-
science.
How? I mean, then you can build little people out of but seriously, how are Legos not already gender neutral?
So the little
They-
police officer guy won't have a face anymore?
I don't even know.
Oh, I'm
but it's
surprised
about-
they're even allowed to have police
But
officer
here's what I
Legos.
thought. Here is a great way for Legos to get some free advertising,
get in the
because
news.
that story was everywhere yesterday. That Legos put out a statement from their corporate office that they will, from here on out,
Yeah, nobody cared to begin with.
be gender neutral. And I'm like,
Are Barbie and Ken going to be gender neutral?
they're all
They already are.
they don't have private parts.
What are you talking
I
Kimberly,
used to
you've
take
looked?
off the pants to see, of course.
I-
Of course.
Well, I used to take off Barbie's top, and she was not gender neutral. Let me tell you.
She has boobs. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. That's just what I thought. I thought Legos were already gender
Yeah.
neutral. I really, whatever.
Publicity stunt.
My-
Same as Dr. Seuss when that happened.
My daughter played with Tonka trucks. I mean, I don't care. As long as my kid was happy, I didn't care what she played with. She had Barbies, she had Tonka trucks, she had baby dolls, she had
Mhm.
My Little Ponies, she had all that stuff. Who gives a rat's ass what your kids are playing with? As long as they're happy.
Yeah,
and they're learning and they're getting something out of it and their creativity. Why does it even matter?
our kids played with clothespins.
Well, it is the Morgan household. But so to that end, which I thought was ridiculous and also obviously a way to get free advertising. What do you have there? And I think we'll put it up on the screen.
let's
We've
get
got it up on the screen.
And now the
Where,
news.
where
And
did
now
you
the
find
news.
this and where is it from and what is it?
Oh,
There we go, guys. It's a flyer. It's a pamphlet.
yeah. So I have the actual flyer right here. This is a pamphlet that was posted on a cork board at the University of Rochester
Shocker.
in the pediatric department at the University of Rochester. It says, "Are you a transgender or gender diverse person?"
What does that mean?
I mean, I say this phrase all the time. You can't make this stuff up. And that's actually not a true statement. I have to stop using that because they do make this stuff up. I say you can't make it up. They make it up all the time. We were to believe, right? And of course, these are the people of #science, right? Everything is follow the science, follow the science. If you don't agree with their political agenda, their sick, twisted political agenda, you're made to feel like you don't follow the science, right? So even if we were to follow the science and believe that scientifically, medically, genealogically, whatever the case might be, there were more than male and female genders, so that would be transgender, I guess. You switch from one gender to another. I don't know what that is. What in the hell is a gender diverse person?
I don't.
Is that where you maintain more than one gender at once? So you don't actually transgender. You don't actually go through the transgender process where you take on male genitalia if you were born a female or vice versa.
But that's not even, I understand, but go on to the next part, the ages.
Between the ages of 15 and 25 years old, children.
At 15 years old, do you even know if you're coming or going? I mean, honestly.
Well, and that's not even the worst of it, right? I mean, they're putting this on our children in grammar school.
I know they are.
This is going to be part of Samra Brook, whatever the hell her last name is, who is our state lawmaker on the east side, parts of Fairport, Penfield, Irondequoit.
And this is going on all across the nation, by the way.
Yeah, this is part of the sex education curriculum that she's actively promoting. As early as first grade, they are going to be teaching in a sex ed curriculum about transgenderism, apparently gender diversism.
But read the rest of it. Do you want help? Healthcare providers and other trans folk can learn more about tucking, binding, and packing.
Yeah. What is that? I mean, here, look, there's.
Do you want your 15-year-old to find out about tucking?
Here's the thing. These are the same people that routinely beat over our heads this idea of accepting people the way they are, right? You're a mean-spirited, angry, right-wing, conservative, nut job Trump supporter if you don't just accept people the way they are, right?
Right.
Accept the fact that your child was born as a female without a penis, but by the age of 7, after she's been perverted by her school teachers and administrators, that suddenly she thinks she's a boy. Okay, you're to accept that, right? You're not to be a mean-spirited, right-wing, conservative nut job. You're supposed to accept that. Okay, let's assume for a minute that I do accept that. Now, you want me to help them learn how to tuck and bind and pack? No, I just want to accept them the way they are. Why can't I just accept physically my child's appearance? Why do I have to have them go learn how to be tucked and bind and packed? I'm assuming that's some sort of cosmetic physical surgery. Why? So who's not accepting them the way they are, me or you?
It's a good question.
You angry leftists is what you are.
Right, exactly.
They're always the ones that can't accept anything. They can't accept the fact that you were born as a male, so they have to train you to become a female. And then once they've trained you to become a female,
then they want you to body morph.
Now you have to body morph on top of it.
Now you have to body morph.
You're never acceptable the way you are.
It's a great point.
You're never going to be acceptable. And that theory, that principle runs throughout all of the leftist agenda, no matter what the agenda might be, whether it's
you're never going to be
change,
acceptable.
Whether it's, the economy, it's never acceptable.
Cancel culture.
You can never give them what they want because then they just want more.
They move. What do they say?
The goalposts.
They move. Yeah.
They move the finish line.
The line is moved.
Yes. So when you give them what they want and it doesn't work, they never accept the argument at that point that maybe what you wanted wasn't the right answer and we need to go back to the baseline. No, their answer is, no, you didn't give me enough. That's why it didn't work.
Right.
Right.
So we invite you.
So illogical.
We invite you to participate in a survey
about body mods.
The hell is a body mod?
Yeah. I want to accept
is that
modifications.
Modification?
Yeah. No, I just want to accept my kid for what they are. Maybe they're not as athletic looking as my mind wants them to be, but I'm going to accept them the way they are. Nope, you can't do that because you're the angry one. You're the non-accepting person. We want to train you and your child on body morphing and tucking. And they make up words, tucking and binding and packing. I thought that's something that, like an Amazon worker does at the shipyard.
That's what they do.
Don't
well,
they tuck,
not
bind,
anymore
and pack?
because everyone's quit. But yeah. So, but here's the thing.
Sick
Even
people.
in school, in elementary school, the assignment is pick your pronoun.
Yeah.
How you
That's
want.
happening in schools.
That's happening in schools here.
My kids had to do that
This
this year in East Arundequoit.
Pick their pronoun.
Yeah, they had to pick they had to, teachers were asking them if they wanted to declare their personal pronouns. Again, these are the people that want to accept everybody and be.
Can you
open,
imagine a
they're the
teacher
Big Ten.
asking you that when you were in elementary school? First off, you're like, what the hell are you talking about? These kids don't even understand. That's the problem. It's indoctrination at a young age.
To the umpteenth degree. Look,
and it's sad.
And let me say this too. Even if.
But we're the weirdos.
Yeah, we're the weirdos. Even
but we're the
if
horrible people.
All of this stuff, right? Body morphine, transgenderism, gender diversism, pronouns. Let's even assume that all of it is a legitimate part of life, right? Let's say that it does follow the science and so on and so forth. Is it for our schools? At what point did we as parents, I mean, I know at what point, when we stopped going to Board of Education meetings and things like that.
Well, you can't go to Board of Education
because
meeting
now
and
you'll
throw
be a
a fit.
domestic terrorist.
You'll be a domestic terrorist.
Exactly.
See what they've done? They've taken you out of the loop.
Yeah.
You don't have a say in whether or not your kid is indoctrinated with
whether they're a boy or a girl, whether they're a he,
Right.
a she, a
Right.
they. Why is that even a thing? One of my son's friends, who's a junior at the high school in Arundequoit, he said something to me the other day. It was kind of telling. He said that one of the pronouns that they were asked to potentially declare was they, and his response was, apparently my teacher doesn't know that they is plural.
Right.
And
Or do you have multiple personality?
Yeah. I mean,
and
isn't that awesome?
how dare you then, insult them for having some kind of mental disorder?
Yeah.
Because now not only are you insulting whatever they think they are,
Yeah.
but now you're insulting because they identify as they, because they have multiple personality disorder. I just can't even keep up with the crazy.
Can I just leave you with this?
I just can't.
They're going to cancel Halloween at my kid's school this year.
Why?
Because it's not culturally sensitive.
Well, that's been going on for years.
Yeah.
Right.
That's-
So our
that's-
culture.
that's
I mean,
that's been going on for years in schools where they're getting rid of Halloween. They do a different celebration and they call it like Harvest Day. I mean, I remember in 6th grade that the family of this kid, his name was Calvin Schultz, and he was in my 6th grade class. And it actually,
are we gonna get a letter?
Actually, no, I don't even know what happened to him, but I went to elementary school with this kid named Calvin Schultz. And I remember that and my friend, Brian Peterson, who is if you're watching, I don't know if he is, but Calvin's parents used to come pick him up for every single in-school deal. They just didn't want him participating in Halloween parties or
that's fine,
or Christmas parties or
good.
Valentine's parties. Calvin's parents, and I think they were like, I don't know, 7-day Adventists. They were like Mormon crazy. I don't even know. They were just some kind of crazy.
Did you just call Mormons crazy?
Yeah, it's a cult.
Quakers.
It's a cult.
There's a lot of Quakers.
That takes care of our latest follower.
But he was like some kind of religion where his parents did not want him to participate in any of these school parties.
Yeah.
And I'm like, his parents came to get him. And that's fine because the majority of the kids.
The culture is the culture. Our culture in the United States of America is to celebrate Halloween.
Right.
And if you don't accept that culture or like that culture, you have two choices. I mean, you have lots of choices, but you have two main choices. You either leave the culture if you don't like it, or you accept it.
Yeah, those parents didn't try to change the school to not have Halloween.
My wife, and this is self-serving, but this is anecdotal. Millions and millions and millions of Americans can articulate this. But my wife came here from another country. She moved here when she was 12 years old. And what she explained to me, many times she's explained this to me, but most recently when we discussed this whole Halloween thing is that coming here to America as a young girl, she saw American culture as something that she was eager to embrace and learn about. She wanted to learn the culture,
to assemble
and to assimilate, and so on and so forth. And And again, that doesn't mean that everyone has to have that attitude.
No, they don't.
If you
Do
don't
whatever
want
you
to
wanna do.
assimilate,
That's
then
a free
don't.
country. That's the
Yes.
beauty of it.
Don't assimilate, but that doesn't mean
Don't
that you
change
have
it.
some arbitrary right to reject it, to change it, to shit on it,
Exactly.
to put your culture on the rest of us.
Correct.
It's mind blowing that and our
there's one
administrators are responsible for this.
Yeah, and there's a whole, one side of this situation here where they want you to assimilate, and if you don't, you're bad, horrible people.
Yeah.
They don't want to, but that's okay.
Correct.
But if you don't,
Right.
You're the bad,
they're
horrible
the ultimate
people.
hypocrites.
so
One quick question I have
Here
with
we
that
are.
literature. That was actually put out by the University of Rochester. It has their emblem and everything on it.
yes, it
This
does.
is posted in their
Yeah.
at the hospital.
But it wasn't
On
a
the U of R
flyer
campus.
that somebody
No,
else
it's got
brought
look at it.
in.
It's got U of R
Okay.
on it.
No.
Well, then
And
why the hell is
so-
it 15 years old? What 15-year-old is going to college?
I don't even know. But here's a weird thing.
I mean, shouldn't it be like 17 or 18?
No, this
If
isn't
you-
at the college.
And even
No,
'cause
but it has their emblem on it. So who are they? Well, who's their target? Where are they sending these flyers?
This was posted in the pediatric department of the hospital. It's the University of Rochester Medical Center.
Gotcha.
You're conflating it. With
Yeah,
the
it was not
college.
the
Yeah.
university.
Yeah.
Okay. Understand.
but there you go.
So it's at all the
15
it's at all the medical facilities.
15 to whatever the age is,
Yeah,
25.
tucking, binding,
There
and
you go.
packing.
Yeah. So I took the picture of it, and as I was taking the picture, the QR code came up on my phone. You know how they do now. A lot of restaurants don't have menus,
Menus, yeah.
so if you
So
put
what
your
are the
if
specials?
you put your phone on the QR
do you get a
code,
pack? Do you get a packing for every binding?
I don't want to be packed. That sounds painful.
The specials are double D's.
Can I just say that anything that involves packing sounds
what are the
painful?
Do you get
Flags.
20% off the second one?
What are the flags at the top?
I-
Those are new American flags.
I don't know.
Kimberly's against flags, Chad.
There's only one flag. You know what that is?
Pretty soon, it's not going to be that.
It's the
flag.
American flag.
No, pretty soon, that won't be the case either.
All right, that's going to do it for Kimberly's Revolution and the We the People
I'm
podcast.
glad I made it.
I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you're here. What else is going on? Is that
Got a big wedding this weekend.
I know.
I'm excited.
Yeah, Chad. Any great news
Nah,
on nothing going on?
nah.
All right,
Our bowling team's in first place.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah.
How's your bowling team doing, Kimberly?
we won. We won on Saturday. We bowl way too long. It's
No, you
3
didn't.
games. I don't like it. I'm not a very good bowler. Well, I go there for the drinks. That's what I do.
I shot over 600 last week.
I know. Chad
on
at
fire.
Chad at 6:15.
Oh,
en
you're a
fuego.
ringer. I see how you are. Okay, great.
Chad was en fuego, the bowling alley.
I like it when you refer to yourself in the third person. That's nice. All right, that's going to do it for Kimberly's Revolution.
Sure
We the
will.
People Podcast Network. Please support our advertisers: Fantuzzo's Acupuncture, Express Sealers, Precision Lawn and Garden, and Taylor 500 Help. Coming up later on this evening, Jose Pio. What's the name of a show?
Well, first of all,
Political
at 6 o'clock, there's PCP,
Oh,
Pop
6
Culture
o'clock
Partisan with
Wh-
producer Austin
with
and Dan.
Austin.
And then at
Yeah,
8
hello.
Yeah.
8 o'clock, it's Political Correcting with Jose Pio
Okay.
and Laverne. No, Lavelle.
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 Jeez.
I love Lavelle. I was
Laverne and
supposed to
Lavelle.
shoot.
I
I
always
was
screw
supposed
that
to have
up.
lunch with
Lavelle
Lavelle.
Evans. Is it
I completely
Evans?
forgot.
Lavelle Evans.
Yeah.
Lewis.
Lewis.
Lavelle Lewis.
Okay.
So
All
Jose
right.
Pio tonight at 8
I-
o'clock on the We the People Podcast Network is having the police chief, the outgoing police chief, Cynthia Harriet Sullivan, on this whole RPD shooting of this career criminal, of this bad guy who honestly, I think the world is a better place today.
Yeah. I'll just
The world
stick
is a better place
I'll just
today.
stick a clothespin over my mouth and God bless, be kind to others.
Rejuvenate, restore, refresh, and heal. At Fantuzzo Acupuncture, we seek to help achieve effective health and wellness in an elegant spa-like atmosphere. Fantuzzo Acupuncture specializes in traditional acupuncture, cosmetic anti-aging acupuncture, acupressure, cupping, CBD topical creams, and more. Approach healthcare holistically. Visit fantuzzoacupuncture.com to book online today. fantuzzoacupuncture.com.
From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor 500 Help.